ever hear of Kong? Why, yes. Some native superstition, isn't it?
Kong, Kong, Kong! You heard him chant that. He exists. You saw the wall, right?
Yeah. That's Kong. He's king around here. He's God to these people.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati. In this video, I'm doing a box day. Very awesome box day. Here's the box. It's the Kong Skull Island Star Ace Kong Skull Island 2.0 from Star Ace and X Plus. Pretty nice box for this figure here. I'd always loved the artwork on these Star Ace Kongs that have came out, both the D4 reel and the 30 centimeter figures. Pretty nice. It's got a picture of the figure here on the front. It says Star Ace up here in the front corner. 12-inch soft vinyl figure. At the bottom of the box it says Monsterverse and Legendary on the right. X Plus in the very bottom left corner here. On the side it says Kong 2.0 soft vinyl figure series. When the first Kong came out, then nice artwork on the back, a silhouette of Kong with the helicopters approaching. They do very nice work with the boxes. I always thought when especially on this box it says soft vinyl figure series Kong 2.0. With Star Ace, you know, they did such a good job on the first Kong when they come out with a skull crawler, and I'm pretty sure that's what's coming to go along with these Kongs is a skull crawler. You've seen photos of it. It actually, its tail wraps around the body of this version of Kong, the 2.0. So it's nice to see that. It looks really cool. So that'll be cool if they give us actually that skull crawler. I do believe that is Ramarak in that picture that it shows that skull crawler wrapped around this version of Kong. So that'll be really cool if that does happen. Alright, let's bring forth the actual star of the show. Let's bring forth Kong 2.0 from Star Ace and X Plus. Let's do that right now. Alright, here he is, everybody. Very, very beautiful figure, for sure. Star Ace X Plus King Kong, or Kong 2.0 vinyl figure. I just got it actually today. It's really nicely done. This is the deluxe version. There's two versions. The deluxe came with the boat propeller and the chain hanging down in his right hand here, and the base. I'll start with the base. Pretty nice. Pretty nicely done. Has two footprints on it where of course Kong's feet go, so he stands firmly on the base. On the back here between the legs, and on the back is remnants of a broken up ship, or in the one of those shipwrecks in the bog from the movie. I think it kind of depicts from the final scene, because Kong got slung into this ship and got tied up in the chains, and I think this kind of depicts that scene in a way. But the base is nicely done. It's gray around the outside of it with a rocky looking texture, and then of course the ship on there with the nice green foliage and stuff, and then it says Kong Skull Island right on the front there, and kind of goldish colored lettering. Pretty cool. But he sets right on there really good, really nicely. It's they did a good job with that. But I think this scene is much different than the other Kong they released, especially in pose and everything. Pretty much different. Much more menacing looking Kong here. I'd say it captures from the final battle when he is battling Ramorak, the big one, the giant skull crawler. I just feel like it comes from that scene, of course, because he does use the boat propeller in the big final battle against Ramorak. So it probably captures from that scene. To me, it probably captures right when he's getting ready to go in close combat with him, and he's got that propeller in his hand, and he knocks Ramorak out with the propeller, and cuts him really bad underneath his chin as well in the process. But I feel that's captured from probably right in that time frame of the film, and they did a really good job on this figure. Great movie. I love that movie. It's really close, but I still think it's my favorite movie so far from the 3 MonsterVerse films, followed very, very closely by last year's King of the Monsters. All 3 of them have been really good and really excellent in my opinion, and they really have delved into the mythology of Godzilla and the creatures in the movies. I feel like they give you a history of skull crawlers, really good. In 2014, they gave you a good story for the Mutos and everything. So I feel like they've done a good job. And of course, last year we already have they brought in the Toho monsters for that film, and I was really kind of disappointed a bit that King of the Monsters didn't do as good as everybody thought it might in the theater, but it's here or there. I feel like the Toho monsters, maybe they're not as well known and they're not as mainstream here as King Kong is, because Kong Skull Island has made the most out of the 3 films to date in the MonsterVerse. And to me, it's just because it's King Kong. He's an American monster. He's more well known here, and I feel like that's why that movie's done the most as far as box office wise, and I feel like that is going to be a big reason why the movie coming out this year, Godzilla vs. Kong, hopefully will do very well. I want to see the MonsterVerse continue, but if it ends with Godzilla vs. Kong, it's one hell of a good way to end the MonsterVerse. As far as this figure goes, it is really a knockout rendition of Kong, in my opinion. They really capture him very well, and I think everybody really loves that he's in a roaring pose and all. And but I like that first one too, though. To me, the first one really captured his demeanor from the film a lot, with the stern look and the closed mouth and the imposing pose that he has on that figure. I feel like it really captures just his overall demeanor in the film. But this one is, without a doubt, nicely done. The legs are nice, big and thick, and heavy set and muscular looking, which is what Kong is. He's all power, and along with his smarts and his intelligence, he's all power, and he is getting ready to get down to business here in this figure, you can tell. But the legs are nicely done, nice sculpting, nice definition of the fur on the legs. Really cool, really nicely done how they did it. The feet are nicely done. They are gray in color, dark grayish in color. Toenails as well, pretty much almost the same color. I've noticed the toenails and fingernails are almost the same color as the feet and hands, which on the first Kong, his toenails and stuff were more really colored, really more pronounced black color, but these are more the same color and tone of his actual skin color, and I'm fine with that too. Actually, I think I like this a little bit better than the actual pronounced black toenails and stuff, but they look really nice. His hands are nicely done. His left hand, his fingers wide open, like he's ready to grab onto an opponent or whatever, but his right hand here, nicely done, clenching the boat propeller very tightly in a combat mode, and the chain hanging down from that propeller. It's pretty long actually, but it's the chain actually to me looks kind of rustic and worn, rustic and rusty a little bit, and which is cool. It shows age for that chain, which is pretty cool. But like I said, he's nicely done. The fur sculpted on his legs, very nice. The back of his back, very muscular looking, very physical and menacing, powerful looking Kong in this position and pose, very nice. Both arms, very muscular, long muscular arms. I like how they captured his fur hanging down on the underneath of his arm here, from his elbow up his forearm. The nicely sculpted fur there on both arms, just like that. Very, very cool how they captured that longer hair that hangs down on Kong's arms, and nicely sculpted fur. X Plus and Star Ace captured. They've got the fur sculpting down really well, like they do with the Godzilla figures in the tree bark skin, in my opinion. Very, very good, very, very nicely done sculpting. Abdomen, upper abdomen and stuff here, very muscular, very muscular, powerful looking there. Of course, on his chest, very powerful looking as well, with the 3 scars that run down his chest. I'm sure that's from a battle with a previous Skullcrawler. So I always figured them 3 scratches were, because the Skullcrawler probably just give him a big wicked claws across the chest and put those scars there. But that's captured really well on this Kong, as it was on the previous. Of course, we get up here to his face and head. Nice, big, wide, open mouth, roaring mode. Very, very awesome looking, very, very menacing, very, very ferocious looking Kong here with his mouth wide open. I remember when this got announced, a lot of the collectors were like, yes, a roaring Kong. They were happy to see that. So it's pretty cool that they did manage to do that with this version 2.0. His mouth is nicely done. Teeth are sculpted really nicely. His big fangs on the upper and lower jaws are nicely done. The tongue is inside of the mouth, but it is individually sculpted. Nice pinkish tone on the gums and on the inner mouth. They really captured that good. Nice ears on the side of his head here. Big wide nostril, especially wide because he's roaring, I would say. Really nicely done. Big eyebrow ridge there. Really caught his eyebrows and the wrinkles in his eyebrow ridge and stuff. Really cool. Of course, his eyes are really, really intense looking. They are white with a brown and black pupil. Pretty cool how they capture Kong here in this menacing, fight, roaring, intense pose. Really, really nicely done by Star Ace. I might double dip on this thing down the road. I'm not sure. I double dipped on the first one, but I think the other one, it's pretty much the same, I think, except for the boat propeller's not there and no base. So I will probably double dip on it maybe, but I for sure wanted this one, the Deluxe, because of the extras it had, so, which makes sense. This is a really cool figure. Bravo, much thanks to Star Ace and X Plus for executing this 2.0 Kong, and hopefully before long we'll see the Skullcrawler that goes with these guys. It would be really cool. All right, I will bring forth some size comparisons, and let's move on to those right now. All right, here we are with the original release Kong 1.0 Star Ace X Plus Kong. This is the Deluxe that came with the base and the crushed helicopter that fit in his hand. I had a feeling that this Kong was quite a bit taller than the original release, and he is. I'll take him off the base here in a minute and you'll see that, but yeah, it's quite a bit taller than the original Star Ace Kong 1.0. Scars on each chest are the scars on both chests are kind of different, really. The ones on the original 1.0 Kong, those scars are really much lighter looking and wider. They're wider, and the ones on the 2.0 here are thinner and but stick out more, and they're more defined. But they're not as wide looking, and they're thinner, but they're raised more off the skin. So there's a bit of difference in the scarring on the chest there. Alright, I'll take them off the base real quick, and you'll see that I thought when I posted him in the X Plus group, the 2.0 today, I felt like he just looked like he would be taller than the first release, and he is by like probably an inch. He's taller. He's a big figure. I'll bring up one of my custom Kongs that Mark Yang made. This one is a kind of a hybrid scale. He's bigger than either one of these, but he's kind of a hybrid. He's like 15 inches tall. This one roughly 15 inches tall. They all look pretty good together though, I must say. Alright, I'll bring up, we can't have Kong without a skull crawler, so we'll bring up one of my custom skull crawlers also from Mark Yang to compare with this Kong. Let's do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Here's my one of my custom skull crawlers that Mark Yang made me, the very first one he ever made. This is a Ramarak version that goes actually with that custom Kong I just had up here. It scaled with him, but it doesn't look too bad with this Star Ace X Plus Kong. It's a tad big, but not by a lot. But old Kong's got that propeller in his hand, and he's about to lay the business down on Ramarak right now. Looks pretty cool though. Alright, let's bring up Kong's impending opponent come this November. Let's do that right now. Alright everybody, here is both X Plus versions of Godzilla 2014. We don't have a 2019 in scale yet, but this is both versions of the 2014, the bluefin roaring version over here, and the original release 30 centimeter non-roaring version. Pretty much the same sculpt minus the blue fins and the roaring head, but pretty much other than that the same sculpt. Both of those are very nicely done too, so but they look good with old Kong there. I feel like if Kong will be about up to Godzilla's chest in height when he fights Godzilla, about like on my shirt here, I would say that'll be roughly his size. So I don't think he'll be this tall against Godzilla, but you never know. But I feel like he'll be like up to Godzilla's chest. Godzilla would clearly be the bigger of the two, in my opinion. Alright, I'll move on to some quick final thoughts on the new release Kong, and let's do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Star Ace X Plus, I salute you for what you've accomplished with this here Kong. Very nicely done sculpture. You really capture him really well in every facet here on this figure. For me, this figure is excellently done. I don't really see too much wrong I can complain on this thing about. It's really captured really well. I can't wait to see what they do, how well that skull crawler, because I think he wrapped his tail wrapped around Kong's body when they had it on a display some time ago. So it'll be cool to see when they release that skull crawler. Hopefully that'll sell really well. I'd like to see that thing sell well. It would be cool if that thing has a good sales thing, or a good sale on it, and hopefully a lot of the X Plus collectors will grab this Kong, because it's really nicely done. If I was going to rate it 10 out of 10 for me. I'm a big Kong fan, so I love Kong, anything Kong. Team Kong 2020, hashtag Team Kong 2020. So I'm a really big Kong fan, always have been. My favorite movie is the original, and I just love everything to do with Kong. And I also feel like this Kong really reminds me more and more of the 76, because he's upright. He's not a knuckle walker at all. The 76 was really the only one other than the Toho Kongs. So to me, he really reminds me of the 76 in his look and his stature. But also the Toho Kongs, especially the 62, was an upright Kong, not a knuckle walker. But really, to me, I recall the 76 when I look at 2000 Legendary's Kong, because of just the way he's an upright Kong and he's not knuckle walking at all. Like the original, the 33, he knuckle walks some. And then even the 86 King Kong Lives, the De Laurentiis version, in the 86 King Kong Lives, he was knuckle walking a little bit, which kind of, and to me, was one of the things in the movie we were like, what in the world? He never did that at all in the 76. He was a total upright walking Kong. So that's why another reason I love the 76 version, the look of Kong in that movie. I think they really did a good job with his look and his roar and everything. And I feel like this takes a lot from 76. I do love how he's an upright Kong, totally upright, bipedal Kong. It's really cool. But I would highly recommend this figure to any collectors who like King Kong. It's a really nicely done figure. Alright everybody, I'll bring the camera closer here for a close-up of this Kong. If you have any comments below, you can comment and like the video if you like it. This is Phil the Kaiju King from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati, and me, Star Ace X Plus Kong 2.0. I'd like to wish you all a very kaiju-filled, God-blessed day, and y'all have a good day. I will catch you again real soon.